morning, guys. My name is Geoffrey. I'm here for children. Onuko, Mr. Onuko is my cousin for me. So I wanted to ask, mine is on mental health. At what time do you tell that you as an individual, you're here on behalf of kids, but some of us might be going through similar situations. At what time do you tell that now whatever I'm going through is becoming a mental health disorder? Is it immediately you feel like there are issues stressing you up, or you have to give yourself some period of time and tell that now you are affected in mental health issues?
One of the things we observe when it comes to issues of mental health is one, behavior. Okay? One is behavior. And how do we know about behavior? We observe, right? We see how someone is behaving. So if it's out of the norm, okay, then naturally in the family setting, what do? So we have a conversation. When you're having a conversation with that person, what are you getting? The thoughts, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Isn't it? Yes. We are getting to hear, what are they thinking? Okay? Mm-hmm. What are they feeling? That's the other one. Their feelings. What are they feeling? And if you feel as a parent, as a caregiver, as a guardian, you feel that here, this is a bit beyond me, okay? Or even if it's within you, but maybe due to a reason where maybe you're ill-equipped or not well-equipped, if I may say so, or you feel that there could be more, because there's always, we have the face value, there's Frida, the me you're seeing, and there's Frida that is inside that I will only open up where I feel safe, isn't it? And as parents, we've been told not to assume that what we are seeing is it, or what the person is saying is everything, okay? And that's why we're being encouraged to be safe spaces for our children, to be safe spaces in the family setup or in the social setup, okay? Because that's when people get to speak up and don't judge, okay? So to answer the gentleman's question, not everything is a mental disorder, okay? With mental disorder, just like malaria, when you go, ukisikia baridi baridi, kichwa inauma, is it obviously malaria? No. How do we know it's malaria? Test. Okay? That same thing happens when you visit a therapy center. Okay? We do assessments to confirm or deny. We may think it is this thing, but that is just thinking from our observation and what we've had, okay? But we need to confirm that it is a mental, there is an issue. But don't always assume, kama mtu analala sana, aongei sana, akona depression. Eh? Isn't that where we go sometimes? I think I'm depressed, okay? I think I'm having anxiety. Let's not diagnose ourselves. Let's go to the proper facilities for diagnosis. Is that okay? Thank you.
Sorry, I'm standing up for the second time. Some of us are forced to man up at an early age. So I think this will cut across all of you. How do you deal with people who are facing withdrawal, like someone who didn't just talk to you? You've tried your best, trying to get close to them, trying to hang out with them, just to get to them at the back of their mind, understand what they're going through, but it's still like, how do you deal with such scenarios?
Someone dealing with withdrawal symptoms, they don't want to talk, they're not ready to open up. Maybe my question to you, when did this start? Were they born like that? Because I believe it started from somewhere. So could it be there's something that this fella, this young person you are trying to take out, could it be he went through something that has made him withdraw and closed up? And maybe another question, I'm answering a question with another one. But I'm thinking, touched this person during his formative years? Who played an important role in terms of taking care of him? As psychologists will tell you, some of the people we handle, they were sexually molested at a very early age. Even with someone, if you had, as in your brother defiled your daughter, and your daughter kept it to herself because she feared telling you about it. She feared your reaction. So she decided, I will just keep this to me. Or maybe they hinted and you never got it because, like, I don't want to sleep in that room again. Can you get me a separate room? But you insisted. And now they realized they were never listened to. Decide now, since you never listened to me now, I'll keep it to myself. So did it just start like he woke up and decided to withdraw? Or it's something that has been there, like it's been since, or maybe that's a personality, for example, he's an introvert, because also personality plays an important role. But actually children, you can pick an introvert, someone who is, you know, quiet. I mean, they're not extroverts, but they're able to relate. So being an introvert doesn't mean someone withdraws. So there must be maybe a trauma, something they went through that made him, if it's a him or her, just to decide to keep to themselves or withdraw. Maybe they feel they were never listened to. And now it's just time to keep to myself. I'll give an example. I attended one of the meetings at one of my son's school. This year, we are allowed to carry snacks and share with our children food or whatever you can carry. I was seated next to, I don't know if it was a guardian or a father, seated with his son. He had brought KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken with some fries. With some soda. I was so shocked that the man was seated there. The young man ate, enjoyed. They never had any discussion at all. And when he finished, he just left and the son went back to the dormitory. And we sat like almost 1 hour. I was with my daughter and my second-born son and another son that is in that school. And it really disturbed me. You had no conversation. You've sat, you've brought food, even asking, are you enjoying? Are you happy? How is everything at school? Nothing. They were silent. He just finished, the boy finished eating. Then the man just went. I brought food. I came for the meeting. That's my responsibility. So this doesn't just, it's not an inborn thing to be withdrawn. There's a genesis for that withdrawal. And you need to find out. And that's why we are here for you.
I think I can add to that. We have our teens. I think some of our boys are already showing it. You're like, are you okay? They say, I'm okay. So sema. Poa. One words. Sini kweli. And you're there cracking your brain. What is wrong with this guy? But maybe sometimes also transitional. With teens, some of them will just be quiet. And if they say, I am not ready to talk, and you pester them, what happens? What will happen? They resent you. They're like, why are you all over my business? I don't like the way she keeps asking me. So they start avoiding you. Mothers, I know I'm a culprit. There's a time my daughter did not talk to me. She was informed to. And I was livid because we would go on a trip for hours. Go, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. So, nothing was wrong with her. And when I asked her today what was going on, she told me I was processing my own stuff. And when I'm ready, I will tell you. So the best as a parent you can be is assure them. Remember the care? Remember the care Jade talked about? Assure them that you're there to support them. When they are ready, you're open for that conversation. Don't judge, don't tell them you look depressed, no, don't do that, okay? Encourage them and be there for them. As a parent, I think that's the best gift you can give your child. Thank you.
Barzeno, my name is 𝗕cie 𝐲𝐏. I came here because I have a grandson by Edward. 𝐀𝐧𝐲. My question is, how do we convince that addicted person of, or how do we convince that person to go to the rehab? And sometimes they say, I'm busy, I have no permission. And as parents or as guardians, we want to help them to go to the rehab, and they don't want, they say they are busy, they are giving excuses. How do we convince them?
Thank you, ma'am. We've said, or maybe I failed to mention, addiction steals your insight. So they are behaving like that because indeed they don't have a problem. They are very much okay. They can stop, they can control as per them. And that truth in them is so true to them, just like it's so untrue to you. Are you getting the point? That how they feel in that state is so true to them, just like it's so untrue. Just like you believing they need help, it's so true to you, but it's so untrue to them. Helping an addicted person is helping someone who is about to cause harm to self. I've just talked of a case, successful case, and the harm 6 feet under. And also hugs to you, my dear sister. So by saying so, in addiction, they need not to be convinced. You will never ever get to convince them. Treatment convinces them. That's what he's our head of rehabilitation. He's the head psychologist there. He'll tell you for sure, even they fight, physical fights. Derek, the one you see here, they've done a lot of, they climb up and the soldier is there. There you get there, I'm going to switch on the, the electric fence. Now there is another one climbing up, hold the leg, that's the work we do, but we only do that. The first maybe 2 weeks, they start stabilizing. Let me tell you, by the time they are in their mid-program, they are able to call it by name, that I am an addict in recovery, and there is nothing gives joy as them being able to say as it is, and also being able to count the losses. Losses to them individually, losses to their loved ones, losses even at their workplace, like what she has just explained. But this comes because addiction, as much as it's a disease of the brain. It's good, we say it's a disease of the brain. So it takes some neurons to just close. And close completely, they can't see any danger within themselves. That's why no matter the adverse consequences, they'll still go there tomorrow and the day after, even if they know their loved one also was still like that and they are no longer there. That is not a scare. By the way, death is never a scare to anyone who is already in addiction. So what we do now, the solution, we offer involuntary rehabilitation services. We will tell you for sure, 99% of our clients, even those who have come and left, because they will get to watch this. And we are also referring to people that we've seen and also other people out there. 99%, they are all involuntary cases. And that's why, my sister, you are not lost. Good that now you've known the enabling and the rescuing because of the pain and all that. But you stretching that help is not by giving them money. Call us, let's come for them. There is so many ways to come for them. Even in a case where they are so, because the moment they get to know there is, we plan. Have you ever, like the one, where is Jessica? The one we admitted recently, now we were on phone and we are talking about the delivery with now their loved ones. So has the rider come? But actually they are saying, also the rider is on the way coming, they are referring to themselves, carrying this person from where they got the person from to our place. So we use coded language, but in a scenario where now we need to officially, if you are able to get them and bring them, but secretively, which is allowed professionally. That's the only time, because we say there is limits to confidentiality, but that we breach in case of harm to self and harm to others. So where you are not able to get them, you need not worry about convincing. Let us know where they are. We do it very easy. He's here. We will come, he will introduce himself with his cards, and we become a team, including the psychiatrist and all. This is what we do. We are here. We let them know what addiction is. So we are here because we need to go with you. If they refuse, we have a backup nurse to just sedate them, and they will sleep, and they will wake up in our rehab. Yeah, the cases I've given you of my 2 brothers, both of them were actually involuntary. In fact, one, it was, like this. He had to be like, we had to use the language, like, oh, we are going with him. It's okay, he'll be coming for detox each and every morning. But before he knew it, he thought it's the detox for today. We got back with him, but he slept, I think, until the following day. The other one, it was easy. You've talked about 𝐲𝐿𝐴. Definitely, we will not be talking about other institutions apart from Allsmiles, but also having had a loved one there. It depends with which facility, because that's purely a psychiatric for detox. So the other one, what we did, after the detox was done, we had to authorize 𝐲𝐿𝐴. Do not allow him to leave. Let him know that people who are coming to discharge you, they are still on the way, but we also came with a car. We are discharging you, let's go home. But we didn't go home, we took him to a rehab. So the program, one thing we say, even by NACADA, because we are accredited, rehabilitation can never be less than 90 days. So this takes, even if it means, because I know employers of today by day, they are embracing this. Number 2, even insurance is embracing. The moment you give you that letter, because we've had them at our center, we are having this person, they need to go through this. They allow, because the insurance by law, now we have the new act for mental health that is allowing all this. So you need to not worry much about the work, because they will also mess themselves and also mess the same work. So we are here and we do involuntary services.
You spoke about father figures in our sons' lives. I don't know how to ask it. I don't know if it's in your experience, how do single mothers navigate that, given you also said they have to be people who are trusted by me as a parent, and also people who I'll not regret introducing into my son's life. And I think for you, in the case of separation, because it's a struggle, where most likely if there are any other mothers who are living with the children, you'd find that in some cases the dad totally absent, does not emotional, not physical, not, it's totally out. So yeah, so how does that, how do you bring that, in as much as you've tried as an individual, yeah, and then at some point you just choose to keep on going, yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that question. Yes, I mentioned this need for us who are single mothers. I say us because I am a single mother. I lost my husband to COVID. Yeah, and he left me with 5 children. And as I stand here, I'm strong because there are people that came my way. I'm in a church setup. So I'm saying church because we have people around us. Maybe family, maybe a brother, maybe a cousin. I said you have to know this person very well, their values. Or even a brother-in-law. I've dealt with a case in my counseling, and I got one of the single mothers mentioning she has a brother-in-law who has offered to be a father figure to her daughter. So trust, values, you have to really know this person very well. So we have, I mean, your circles of influence in terms of, do you belong to a church? I happen to belong to a church where we have programs even for single parents, for that matter, or people who are separated or divorced. So we offer that in terms of, there's a platform where you can identify a father figure and actually allow your son also with his permission. You don't like, go and talk to so-and-so, he'll help you. No, you actually also need his permission. Are you comfortable talking to so-and-so? Or you can actually ask him, who do you think you can talk to? Who do you think you are free to talk to? I feel you need to have someone in your life like a father figure. Do you know someone? Even a teacher. I'll tell you, a teacher at the twins are in 2 different schools. Well, I would say I got the privilege to get them to national schools. And one of the schools where my son is, one of the twins, actually he got a teacher who has been a father figure to him, literally. And this boy talks highly of this teacher to an extent that he was able to make him a prefect and a dining hall prefect. And you know what that means with boys this age with food. And he added weight. He would brag to his brother the way he eats chicken when he eats 𝗕𝗵𝗿, you know, and ugali and sukuma, you know. So this teacher actually meant a lot, and I had to do a message just to thank him for being a father figure to my son. So they are all over the place. And we just have to allow them to make the choice. He made the choice without me knowing. Also, there are people that in our church, as I mentioned, who reached out and asked me if my sons would visit. And they ask my sons out. They do nyama choma. They take them to places. And they have actually even empowered them in terms of even career-wise. So there are many places, school, church, your relatives, they can come in, but you have to be very sure this person will influence my son the right way. Okay, good.
Okay, I'm almost feeling like she touched a bit on what you were asking about single parenting. And this is in the case of divorce and separation. And I feel I want to hand that part to Jedida, who did parenting, to respond to the being single and separation.
I think when it comes to the single, in terms of separation, divorce, it can be different from widowed, yeah? And with that, there's something that Frida talked about, the 𝐴ce, yeah? It can be depending with, the traumas that we go through as parents. And it is important for us to deal with them as parents, whatever it is, the issues that we can have. The separation and divorce, for us in counseling, we look at divorce, it's like a death. It is a death, yeah? And you have to go through the emotions, the anger, the bargaining, the denial, all of those stages, so that you get to the acceptance. But remember, as you're going through these emotions, does life stop? Your children are still growing, and they are still observing. And some of them are caught up in these fights. So that's why we always say it's important, the self-care, self-awareness, for you to, even as you are navigating this new season, because it's a new season you are in, that you'll be able also to be strong enough and sober enough. Remember, John talked about functional. Be functional enough so that you can still be there for your children, yeah? So that as you're going through these emotions, again, your children don't miss out, because they also react in different ways. Remember I was talking about being rebellious? Some of these children, that they're being rebellious, they're acting out, they don't know how else to do it. They're getting hurt, they're caught in between, daddy, mommy, or now I'm with mom. They can even start blaming you. You are the cause of why dad left, or you just took us out. And there are some things that you can't discuss with your children. But even as you're going through these emotions, it's important for you to seek help and have a support system. It is okay, so that you get to the stage of acceptance. And I think even Madam CEO talked about acceptance in all stages. It's very, very important, because that will help you now to know, how do I navigate and how do I get into reflective parenting? Remember what we were talking about? The reflective parenting. Is it doable? Yes, but it only means more work will be done. And the other thing is that sometimes I think culture, society, how sometimes we deem single, single mothers, and now we also have single fathers. Again, there's that stigma. So again, you have to also deal with that. And that's why I keep on talking about being self-aware and accepting the season you are in, so that you don't end up projecting, what we call projecting your fears, your anxiety, your being angry, your anger on the children. But you know how to deal with it navigate through it, and in the same process, bringing up the children to be strong and to also accept that this has happened, but you know what? I'm strong enough, I'm resilient enough in life. So I don't know if I've answered the question. Yes, you have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Joseph. I wanted to ask about the boy child, which she almost was asking. But let me start with full disclosure. It's my wife who really convinced me that we should bring our son to this program, because you know it's led by Madam 𝗕cie, and you're doing a wonderful job. Because I was wondering, why should I bring my son for the transition in a program where the therapists are female? I don't know how many men struggled with that. He's there. Please let's clap for the men who are very open and vulnerable. It was really a struggle. But my question I want to ask is, any insight you might have in calling out the men in these boys? Because much of the addiction and the LGBTQ we've talked about, it slaps men mostly. Whether it is alcoholism, whether it is, apart from the L, the G, you find even most men who are gay, most want to be women in that relationship. So you find actually it's more men who want to have dreadlocks or have earrings, as opposed to women dressing like men or having haircut like men. So now that our children are our boys are at this stage, any insight you might have in calling out the men towards maybe what I would say positive masculinity, because we have the extreme that is now toxic or negative. So just wanted to point it out, but I'm grateful that I am here and I really enjoyed the journey together with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me react to that. We've been around. I was with the boys. We had Max. We also had Ara. As much as they come from a totally different cultural background, but we designed this program that is quite unique to these guys in terms of developmental stage. In this stage, we are teaching them values, what is required of them as men, now that they are transitioning. And we talk about positive masculinity because there's so much talk out there concerning femininity and all those things. But one thing that I have to tell you people is, don't expose your sons to the toxic masculinity that is on the internet. Yeah, there are some people who are running, I think, pages of all those things on the internet, advising boys what to do, don't do this, this is how you treat ladies. But at the end of the day, you are talking about a lady, how to treat ladies in a very bad way, forgetting that that is your mom, that is your sister, and that is your auntie. We need to put things in the right perspectives. Here we're talking about values, making sure that these people are responsible, making sure that these people are going to take the lead in terms of guiding their families, taking charge of their career life, and so on. So that is well captured in our program, and we did a whole lot of stuff concerning that area. Thank you.
My name is Carol. Mine is not a question per se, it's just to thank Dr. for the good lessons, and just I think speaking on behalf of many to say that we relate with what she was talking about. Senior, I'm a firstborn sister with two brothers. I have one brother who's working in the bank, and he's going through a lot of those things that you spoke about. He has gone to rehab at Chiromo. It hasn't helped much. I want to confess that I think I've been an enabler who got mad at some point and said, 𝗕cie sasa, I've given up, because he'll ask for money, put you into situations, I've been arrested and all those things. So I think what I've learned today is that I might have been an enabler and a heroine, but I think I shouldn't give up on him, because he has also really suffered. And we can't judge him. He's a very smart person at the bank and a good performer, but when he goes goes down, he's really down because of all those things. So let's not give up, but let's do the right thing instead of enabling them. And the same with the other brother, he's younger. It's now this type that they refuse to finish school, they refuse to graduate. You send them to Qatar, they say they come back. You know, you're taking care of your family, his wife, his child. So, but there's only so much you can do, and we want them to live and enjoy life. So I believe there's still a chance, but from a reflection point, I have learned a lot. Thank you so much.
I'm sure most of us as parents, we have also learned that among those programs that have been spoken about, we might need more information about them. Do you have maybe something like flyers which says the other types of programs that you have and maybe how much they cost and all that? Yeah, thank you.
By just the same number, we are able to share that. When you request, we are able to share everything through our admin, the same contact that has been updating you. Yes, you'll be able to get everything that we offer.
Okay, I believe now we've come to the end of our question and answer session. We want to go to the next stage of now ushering in our young men. This is the stage that everyone has been looking forward to.